Conversations with Cliff. I'm a free-thinking spiritual beast. We can keep it ratchet or classy. I'm here for the conversation.
Today's topic's solely on relationships. We're going to go through the dynamics of relationships. And to kick this off, let's start with how to build a solid relationship. Anybody wants to grab this?
I take it. So, to build a solid relationship, it starts with commitment and communication. And communication is the biggest thing and the key to having a solid relationship, because you got to be open and honest with your partner. You can't just assume that they know what you want and how you feel and all those other things that go into a relationship. You just got to be open and honest and communicate.
Well, I agree with that. Pretty much honesty is one of the key things, because usually when you first meet someone, they're kind of based on lies and you fall for the lies. So,
do you think is it lies? Because I feel like when you meet somebody, you meet their representative. It's them, a part of them, so it's not necessarily lies, it's who they think you want them to be. You know what I'm saying? So if I meet you and I feel like you're a woman that wants somebody to take care of her and have a lot of money, this, that, and the third, so I'm going to act like I'm the flashy guy.
right, so you're acting, which is a lie.
It's my representative.
That's not really you.
Can we explain this representative thing?
So,
because it's a lie, bro.
because initially in a relationship, when you first meet somebody, you get to know them. It's the beginning stage of it. So we all show our representative who we think that person wants us to be, and then gradually we become ourselves. We get comfortable later on in the relationship, and that's really how things change. Because in the beginning, we're this person,
Right.
and they're like, ooh, nice and fun and exciting. And then as we progress, take that shirt off, and now we just that regular laid back kick Perkins. Like, hey, what the hell? Like, you changed, like you different. Like, who are you?
You still don't think that's a lie?
Right, it's a lie.
I feel like that's a lie, bro. Like, I feel like when you're introducing yourself to somebody, get to know somebody, you do want to give them the best of you. So, you kind of embellishing things. Like, you trying to make stuff
Seem like it is bigger than it seems.
Yeah, a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, I'm this, I do this, et cetera, et cetera. That person gonna like you, man, no matter what. They should.
They should.
But.
And if they don't, then oh well, move on. But at least you're not wasting that person's time and lying and playing with their feelings.
But the lies they're gonna always come out. There's nothing you can do to hide the lie, because when you lie, you gotta continuously lie to make it true. If you tell the truth one time, that's it, one shot. That's all we need.
Yeah, I mean, you have the option of, if you lay it out there and you're honest in the beginning, and you tell this person, this is who I am, this is how I am, you give them the option to accept it or walk away.
Right.
Yeah, but most times people don't think like that. And I'm like, I'm going to act like I'm this person. I'm going to show her that I'm this kind of guy. Or really, I'm probably a scumbag or whatever the case may be, and that's going to come out later.
And then I wonder why girls act crazy.
Well,
Because y'all actually crazy.
Y'all be lying, playing.
Because y'all actually crazy.
Yeah, I'm naturally crazy. There's something wrong with you. We ain't got nothing to do with your crazy. Y'all just bring that out, and that's on y'all.
No, but I think nowadays, since the world is social media driven, is that people put on that facade for, everything. They want you to feel like, oh, I'm a baller, or I do this and I do that, and people going to gravitate to it like, oh, that's what I want, instead of just being themselves. Because nowadays, I tell girls all the messed up stuff about me. I be like, I know you're going to like all the good stuff about me, but let me tell you some other stuff that you might not really want.
But don't you think that's too much in the beginning?
No.
In the beginning of a relationship, you just gonna unpack all your traumas and just
unpack that shit like we just came back from a trip.
Yeah, and they're running away.
Well, if they run, they run.
I think you gotta give, especially traumas. You gotta give that up and
No, I don't mean the trauma part. Or something.
Yeah,
I mean my flaws.
Right, but I'm saying that you can't just say, look, I'm this, out the gate. Like, whoa, wait a minute.
There's no surprise.
No, but I mean,
No, not like you know, people say I'm overly blunt and things like that. So I tell people that like that's me, which is not a bad thing. Like I ain't gonna tell people like, oh, I was in a shitty marriage. Like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing one of those, June.
But sometimes you gotta reel back because you don't know the person that you're dealing with. So if you're a blunt individual, I know you're a blunt individual.
Right.
That person you're dealing with might be sensitive to that, and they might not get it. So if you just, this is how I feel, I'm gonna say how I feel. Whoa.
Okay.
Well, at least you giving him the choice, though.
Yeah.
But then later on, he being blunt. It's like, wait, that's not how you was before. That's gonna cause problems.
It might not cause problems, so to speak, if it can come out naturally. You know, I'm a blunt person. But if I'm telling you from day one I'm a blunt person and then I say something crazy,
Which you know what to expect.
you know what to expect, but you might be too sensitive to understand it and get it.
But he's a blunt person, so you need to know that.
Yeah.
Because then when something happens, he's gonna say whatever he feels, and she's not ready for that.
Yeah.
You don't want her to be like, where did that come
Right.
from?
Yeah, but you scaring them off in the beginning, like.
Well, then,
it's
yeah. If
doses.
you don't
Then
want
that's
a
not the
blunt
person
person,
that I need to be with. Like if I'm just,
see, y'all, I don't want y'all to be on wasting people's time.
It's not
why you
wasting.
keep
Cut it
saying
all
y'all?
As a man, I'm talking to a man.
No. Speak your hey, talk your
Like-
talk. Talk your talk. Talk your talk. let that.
You don't
trauma
think
and
women
sugar
waste
up.
men time?
Well, me, it can go both ways.
Okay, there you go.
That's why we need to just put everything out on the table. Me, personally, I put everything out on the table. I let them know, hey, this is what it is. Take it or leave it.
From the beginning.
Yes.
Facts.
Yes. No surprises.
This is
I don't
why.
think that.
This is why commitments and the whole relationship aspect, all that stuff don't last.
Do
So
you know-
check this out. When you met your wife, was you all like, hey, I'm Clifford. I'm 20-something odd, because you better than 20s. I'm 20-something odd years old. I'm in the military. And then there was nothing else. You just let all that. You was like, I'm a G.I. Joe. I'm the one that killed Osama bin Laden.
I broke it down. I broke it down in doses. If I gave her everything about me up front, I wouldn't have seen her. She would have been out of there. She would have disappeared the next day. So in the beginning, like, I didn't go into it like we're gonna be together long term, we're gonna get married, XYZ. We're just getting to know each other.
Right.
So let's be friends. What are we rushing for? Why we gotta unload and unpack all these things about ourselves from day one? Or you know what I'm saying, with the first couple weeks of the month. Then you're no longer a mystery to that person. I know everything about you.
You withhold information so she won't leave.
No, I'm
Trying to keep her held
withholding information.
Because you know she gonna leave. You just said that she gonna leave if you tell her everything.
If I tell her I'm crazy from day one, you think she gonna stay?
So you want her to find out later that you're crazy.
But now, later, she found out that I'm crazy because I went through these traumas, I went through this trauma, I went
But
through
you
all
can
this
just
other
go
thing.
ahead and tell her that.
That's too much.
How's it too much?
You tell somebody from day one that you had a rough childhood, your parents wasn't there, you lived on the streets, you just fending for yourself, you're out here in survival mode, you think they're just gonna be like, oh, okay, come with me.
And you think she's still gonna be there even if you tell her later? She might not want to deal
Yeah,
with
because
that.
I unpacked it in doses. I
She
didn't
might
just say
not
up
want to
front.
deal with a person like that who's been through that. So you didn't give her a choice in the beginning.
I gave her to
You're forcing that on her.
All right. So, we all agree that to build a solid relationship is mainly communication,
Yes,
Communication.
honesty.
Honestly.
I feel like compromise needs to be in there because you gotta be able to compromise.
Talk about it. I think compromise is,
I think that's as important as communication.
it is very important, and it's right up there. It's on the same level, but it's hard. It's hard to compromise, especially if you're of a certain age. You're kind of stuck in your ways.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to give up this for that, or you know what I'm saying? You gotta figure out the medium, the happy medium to that.
Right.
Like a lot of us don't want to give up our space. That's, you know what I'm saying, when you get in a relationship, you get committed, you gotta give it your space. It's no longer I, mine, or me. It's we, ours. Ain't no more individuality anymore. It's about us.
Okay. Okay, so let's all agree. No, let's all agree that communication, compromise, honesties, that's the first steps of building a solid relationship.
That's the foundation. Yes.
Yeah, so we can agree on that.
Trust too.
Trust as well.
Trust is wiggled in there. Yeah.
So we're gonna agree. Those are the core principles
I
of building
agree.
the solid.
Thank you for listening. This has been an A2I Media production.